Alright guys, Touchgrabber here back again today. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday so far, and the big discussion really over the last 24 hours in the Call of Duty community has been skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. There is no secret that in the alpha build of this game, skill-based matchmaking is very, very strong indeed, and after a few games you get to put into absolute god lobbies if you're actually decent at the game. This is something which really has been discussed over the last several seasons, and well, is an issue really, I think, for playing this game from a more casual perspective. When there is a ranked play and all that kind of stuff, it's not really going to be an issue, but definitely a number of the pro players and big influencers in the community discussing this over the last 24 hours and frustrated really with how it is being handled once again from the developers side and from Activision's side, I suppose, more generally. We've seen it in the last few Call of Duties. This is, well, stronger than really I've ever seen. The first couple of games I played, like 24-4, 41-3, I think, and then after that it went significantly downhill, and people have been saying similar stories where they play their first game of the day, they absolutely go off, and the very next map they get put up against Gunless and some of the actual professional players. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always. Little montage playing in the background right here with these first few games I played before skill-based matchmaking really came into effect, I feel, and after that it was a lot more difficult to get a significant amount of kills in a row, let's just put it that way. I'm sure you guys have had similar experiences if you've been playing the game so far, and hopefully they do tone it down to some degree going forwards. As I say, it doesn't matter so much maybe when there's ranked in the game, and I don't play public matches as much as I used to, but well, it definitely used to be much more fun back in the day, I believe, and we're going to have some of the discussion on what some of the influencers and, well, important people in the community have a think about this particular issue. Before we get into it, wanted to share a quick clip from the Rostermania side, that being this one from Octane saying he does have a team confirmed. We talked about that potential team yesterday, so I'll just roll this one.
GG's, larger GG's. You have a team finalized? Yes, sir.
Kambo was also kind of having a laugh on the social media because he said announcement soon, rumored to be going to the Huntsman in one form or another, whether it's a content creator, whether it's you know, some sort of like assistant coach or analyst for the team. I'm sitting here watching while your coach, who's probably not even broke top 8 in 4 years or more, is telling you how to play, and someone is throwing irrelevant stats at you thinking that they matter. I don't know where this is going, but I have no announcement. You're a clown, I know, but maybe something will be coming out from Karma relatively soon. Octane says skill-based matchmaking, and Gunless is in the replies, attaches in the replies. Thought this is pretty funny. Fair play from Atacha getting in this one. And then Looney comes into the replies as well, kind of setting up this topic really on SBMM. If you like SBMM in video games, that said a lot about you. That was kind of the copy pasta that was going around yesterday. Gunless copies me into this one as well. Just, well, just wanted to point out really that Octane, Gunless, Looney, rumored to be on this squad in the same thread here. No Pristini in this one, but Octane did reply to this very questionable tweet from Pristini later in the day as well. So who knows exactly what that squad is looking like right now. But Octane's saying that he has a finalized team. Stay tuned for announcements over the coming days, of course. This came out then from Scump last night. Skill-based matchmaking does not belong in Call of Duty. There should be ranked playlists for people to sweat in. I'm not trying to play scuff-wielding, game-fuel-chugging demons with SNN or Season in their PSN on Miami TDM. Also, to the newbies that are going to cry about this tweet, hold this choppy gunny. This is why I deserve to raise 2 sponsor plugs in there. Too slick, too slick. And then Scump comes out with this as well, showing him killing himself over and over again. This is considered reverse boosting. This has been a thing since, I don't know, Black Ops 2 certainly, maybe even before this as well, when skill-based matchmaking started to be realized that it was kind of a thing. People just kill themselves over and over again to lower their KD so that the game puts you in a worse lobby effectively. So, yeah, Scum was doing that, and definitely I noticed this in a few of the lobbies I was playing in last night. People were copying the Scum strategy of just killing themselves over and over again to, well, get in a position where they can hopefully play in easier lobbies that are more fun to play in, because, to be honest, like, I enjoy Call of Duty for the fact that I can just hop on and, well, at least this is how it used to be. I used to hop on and just play public matches for a little bit, just kind of relax, use whatever guns I wanted, could try out, like especially Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 2, could try out some new guns, use the XM2 for a little bit in Black Ops 3, use the KN like 57 or whatever, I think it was the KN 44 actually in the Black Ops 3, but you know, use whatever guns, just run around the map, have a bit of fun, like, you know, use some new streaks, just try some things out, enjoy the maps really. Whereas nowadays, if you want to play public matches, you have to go balls to the wall 24/7, to the point where what's the point even playing public matches? I might as well just hop into ranked play if I know I'm going to have to sweat it out that hard. So definitely some discussion and some back and forth on this. Hector said the following new rule: you cannot ask Activision for a proper ranked playlist if you're also anti-skill-based matchmaking. I'm confused. I'm not really sure what Hector is getting at here. I kind of see what he means, but at the same time, like, you know, you can be anti-skill-based matchmaking in public matches, but pro-skill-based matchmaking in a ranked playlist. And I think JP has a good point on this, which we'll look at in a second. Then in a ranked playlist, at least you know what your rank is, right? At least you have like an MMR, you have like an actual number. So let's say World War II, for example, right? You have a number which represents represents your skill level. And that's cool to see, because as you're getting better and as you're improving, you can actually see that number go up. Whereas when you play public matches, this has really been one of the key concerns from a new player perspective, is that a new player comes into a game and they play against absolute bots, right? Like, they actually manage to go even against these bad players, and then as they're getting better and better and they're improving, they get put in better and better lobbies. So you have no idea how much you're improving. Like, when I first played Black Ops 2, and I think Black Ops 1 was the first CoD I had, I was getting absolutely railed, like, beyond belief. And I'd see these guys, I used to play free-for-all back in the day, and I'd see these guys going like 30-2, and I was like, damn, like, how can I be this good? How are these guys doing it? And it would get to the point where I wanted to improve and I wanted to get better. And because there was no real skill-based matchmaking in these games, it got to the point where as I improved and as I got better, I could eventually like win the free-for-alls and get to the point where I'm going 30-2 and like smoking people. But that's not the case nowadays, right? You can't see an actual improvement in your own gameplay, and you don't have people to look up to, because let's say someone dominates in your game and goes like 30-5 or something, then you think, oh, I want to be that guy and I want to grind it out, put the effort in, try and improve at Call of Duty. The problem is that every single game, every time you improve as a player and have a good game, you're getting matched up with people who are equally good and equally improving at the same rate. So you might have a 1KD right at the start of your playing career, and nowadays, like, even though you're so much better and you've played for so long, you've still got a 1KD. So that's just a frustrating part of the progression in public matches. Whereas in ranked play, that's perfectly fine, right? Like, I'm perfectly happy to have a 1KD on average every single time I play ranked, as long as I get better and as I improve, my skill ranking goes up, right? Then there's actually a show of progression that you don't get in normal public match play. And clearly Activision have a reason for pushing this, but it feels to me that that element of progression, that element of like accomplishment, should keep people around longer if you don't have skill-based matchmaking in the game. But maybe they know better than we do, I suppose. So JCap says, this makes no sense. If anything, it's the exact opposite. A ranked playlist means people know they'll get competitive games and will be working to get better. Skill-based matchmaking just throws you into the blender every game you play when you might just be wanting to relax. Hex says, you're a pro player. Content creators, I get it. You're in the top 1%. Give me your aim if you're going to cower away from the public. So everyone I play against at all times is going to be in the top 1% basically. Why does that make any sense at all? I'd be happy to do that in a ranked playlist, but skill-based matchmaking caters to people who don't get their feelings hurt, so they don't get their feelings hurt, and they don't actually get any better. And then Egg says, wait, hold up. So because we're in the top 1% means we don't get to chill and have fun, and Hex is like, yes. And Courage says Hector is faded today, etc, etc. And this is a point really from JP Krez. It would be different if the skill-based matchmaking in public matches gave you some type of info that you're improving to some extent, rather than hiding it all behind a hidden MMR. Every ranked mode at least has some visible number to show some degree of improvement going forwards. And then there was this drama as well, which was pretty mind-blowing to me. So you've got Leffen over here. I believe this is like a Smash player. I don't really follow that scene, but I'm sure some of you guys do. And his initial tweet was as follows: watching people argue that FPS players should in fact not play people who are as good as them, but people worse than them so they can stroke their ego is so pathetic. What's the joy in beating people up who play once every 2 weeks if you're playing this full time? If you've never played FPS games, then it makes sense you think this way. So much different than a fighting game. You can casually pick up basketball with all people of all different skill levels, but you can't casually play tennis if the skill level is too different. Interesting analogy, I think, from Hitch. And well, anyway, he comes back with this tweet and he says, in this example, I'm saying that Leffen sounds like the tennis player and smashes tennis. He'd never be able to understand that, because the only way that you can have fun is if you play the 0.01% players that are around his skill level. It's way different in arena shooters. However, Leffen seems to disagree. I've never seen a worse Dunning-Kruger effect, and I never will. So the Dunning-Kruger effect is when people that have little knowledge of something and little skill of something believe that they are much more talented at that particular thing than they actually are. And also conversely, people who are very skilled at something and very knowledgeable in a particular field believe they know less than they actually do on average. So this is what kind of Leffen's getting at here, talking about Hitch. Why are you trying to talk about things you obviously have no idea about, and then claiming I could never understand because I haven't played an FPS? Of course, you're a pathetic COD content creator who trashes on new players shilling on skill-based matchmaking as well. Then Hitch comes back, I think you thought I was being hostile or condescending when I've been a fan of you in Melee for years, and it's the reason I got into this industry in the first place. We'll just have to agree to disagree, brother. Alright, keep gaslighting your 14-year-old audience. Peace, bro. See you later. Great talk. Humble yourself and try and understand the other side, 99% of the player base, instead of running away and jerking off off to your clips versus noobs. You know, quite the entertaining affair, to be honest. Nameless says this, which I thought it was a good point as well. Chill, brother. They upped the SBMM to the point where it is basically ranked play. What was once a relaxing, random public matches are not fun anymore. Public matches should be lightly competitive and fun, using different weapons, enjoying the match, etc, etc, enjoying the maps, etc, etc, which I think was certainly true back in the day. Doesn't seem to be true nowadays, to be honest. Played a few games that were fun and not anymore. It's also an issue when you're playing with friends, I think, because yeah, let's say like you have a very high like hidden MMR like rank behind the scenes that's giving you like good lobbies, and you're playing with friends who like aren't as good players, then all of a sudden you're getting put into lobbies with not random enemies, but enemies that are like deliberately designed to be a good match for your team, which means that you might be better on average than their MMR, but the rest of the 4 guys that you're playing with are worse on average, and like no one's having fun in the game apart from you because of the skill-based matchmaking. And you know, we've seen this over the last few games really. I think it's frustrating for a number of people. Finishing off with this then, so EA gave a peek under the hood as is described in this Reddit thread, which I'll leave linked down below for Apex Legends. The discussion is as follows. Anyone who has done their research on SBMM knows that it does not match players fairly based on skill. The system rigs your matches to make you win or lose in a particular pattern that is statistically shown to keep you playing more. So apparently this is what might be going on. Now this is EA, like Electronic Arts, not Activision, but you know, Activision I'm sure have patents for stuff like this and would be able to have the facilities to do this, because it certainly makes sense reading this thread that this may be what's going on, and this may be the reason why that we see skill-based matchmaking to the degree that we do. Let's say you're a skilled player and after a few good games, SBMM decides you should lose your next match. It pairs you with below average teammates and also due for a loss, like what an idea that is. Stronger opponents / stacks to reduce your odds of winning. It's not about making the game fair. The paper also concludes that this form of matchmaking, by effectively rigging games, has the highest player retention, followed by random matchmaking and then real skill matchmaking. So random matchmaking is supposedly slightly, like, even though maybe it's ideal to play or whatever, it actually is slightly worse in terms of player retention over time, and real skill-based matchmaking is actually even worse than this. But supposedly this like rigging games method of having a few good games, putting you with bad teammates, good enemies to make you lose, makes you want to play longer. So do you guys think there's some legitimacy to this? I would not be surprised at all, to be honest, given what Activision have been capable of over the last few seasons. But yeah, certainly intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Which side of the fence do you fall on? And well, do you think it should be toned down quite significantly going into the beta and the actual game? I would certainly be in that camp myself. Thanks for watching as always. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you next time.